In the small, silent town of Redwood Valley, everything changed overnight when a strange green mist rolled in from the nearby forest. People who inhaled it began coughing, trembling, and within hours their eyes turned pale white as they lost all control. Emma, a young nurse, was the first to notice the pattern. The infected weren't dying, they were transforming. By morning, the streets were filled with groaning, bloodthirsty figures dragging themselves through the fog. Phones went dead, power vanished, and fear took over. Emma grabbed her medical bag and a flashlight, knowing survival now depended on staying quiet, staying hidden, and finding anyone still human before it was too late. As darkness fell over Redwood Valley, Emma barricaded herself inside an old pharmacy, her heart pounding with every echo outside. Through the cracked window, she saw shadows moving slow at first, then faster, hungrier. The zombies were learning to hunt. She found an old radio and desperately turned the dial until a voice crackled through the static, "If anyone's alive, head north to Ridgepoint Bridge. Safe zone, repeat, Ridgepoint Bridge." Hope flickered inside her chest. But the groans outside grew louder, and the door hinges began to creak under the weight of the undead. With trembling hands, Emma packed supplies, gripped a broken metal rod for defense, and whispered to herself, "I have to make it to that bridge, no matter what." Emma slipped out of the pharmacy under the cover of darkness, moving silently through empty streets littered with abandoned cars and overturned trash cans. The fog clung to her like a shroud, and every distant groan made her flinch. She spotted a group of zombies ahead, feasting on someone unfortunate, and held her breath, pressing herself against a crumbling wall until they shuffled past. Her map showed a shortcut through the old cemetery, a risky path, but it could save precious time. As she ran between cracked tombstones, a cold hand of fear gripped her heart. She wasn't alone. Something was following her, slower than the others, but patient and relentless. Emma's legs ached, but she couldn't stop. The sound of dragging feet grew closer with every heartbeat. In the middle of the cemetery, moonlight revealed the figure, a towering, grotesque zombie, its eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. She swung the metal rod with all her strength, but it barely slowed it down. Panic surged, and she ran, dodging gravestones and leaping over open graves, praying the ridge ahead was close. Behind her, more groans joined the first, forming a chorus of hunger that seemed to echo in her skull. Just as her energy waned, the lights of Ridgepoint Bridge appeared in the distance, flickering faintly through the mist, a promise of safety, if she could survive the final stretch. Emma sprinted the last 100 meters toward Ridgepoint Bridge, her lungs burning and arms trembling from the weight of fear and adrenaline. The horde of zombies surged behind her, but the bridge's barricades and guards shouted for her to hurry. She leaped over the final gap onto the wooden planks, and the gate slammed shut just as the first zombies reached the edge. Safe at last, she collapsed, gasping, watching the undead pound against the barriers. Relief washed over her, but a cold thought lingered: the infection wasn't contained, and the world beyond the bridge was still overrun. Emma knew this was only the beginning of a long, terrifying fight for humanity.